I am Emily, Ivor Mary's granddaughter. Heather's Hair is a wonderful charity that provides soft hairbands that can be worn under a hat or a scarf, suitable for people with permanent or temporary hair loss. The aim of this video is to show how at low cost these simple hairbands can easily be made at home. These pieces can be made by hand or with the aid of a sewing machine. Real or synthetic hair can be sourced from the internet, while Alice bands and headbands can easily be found at pharmacies. I hope you enjoy this video and find it useful. Please feel free to comment below.
Here we are in Atherton, Gifford. My name's Yvonne and I make the hair pieces for Heather's Hair. This is real hair, beautiful hair, and we buy it online from a company called EI. And we get a very long piece, and out of one long strip I can get 3 full head 22-inch pieces. And they're made in 3 layers, 1, 2, 3 layers, which we stitch together, and then they're fixed into a headband, and they're very comfortable to wear instead of a wig. It's a large zigzag. Need a wide stitch because I'm stitching 3 pieces together. Right. When you think this was all stitched by hand, it can be done, you can stitch it by hand. So much easier with a sewing machine.
Wore it out this evening for a meal with some friends with a dressy black scarf, and my friends couldn't believe that it wasn't my hair. Loved it, and it made me feel really confident.
Headband needs to be divided evenly so that you spread it round the piece of hair. Otherwise it won't stretch on the head. So I start off using pins. But the centre seam is the back, and then I put a pin in halfway round, and then I quarter it, so I'll end up with 4 pins.
I have found your weave amazing and invaluable. Such a great idea. The piece gives me confidence. The half weave is wonderful, fitting so easily under my hats. I think hospitals should promote your product as it is such a help and extremely good value.
Then I put a pin in it to hold it, and I go all the way around this hairpiece, this band, making a fold. Keep my marker pin, so I'm trying to keep it quartered. And that doesn't want to go in there. Fairly deep fold so that the hair will fit in. Pin in there. Round a bit more, make another fold. It's a seam. This seam is actually, the hairband is actually going inside. If I stretch it out like that, I've got it quartered, a pin there, pin there, pin there. I'm going to do a row of stitching at the top of the fold to hold it in place, then I can put the hair in.
What kind of stitching are you using?
The stitch I'm going to use is it's a stretch stitch. On my machine it's number 6, and I make it a biggish stitch. And it stitches a zigzag and then a little straight bit, a zigzag and a little straight bit, and that enables you to stretch it. And I'm just going to whiz round holding that in place. But as you go, you need to stretch the headband. There we go, that will stretch now with that stitching. Then the hair piece I've stitched here, I'm going to quarter that as well so I know where to spread it out. Centre back, fold it in half, I'll put a pin in there, fold it that way so the centre and the back are together, so I've got 2/4 a quarter at each side here, a pin in there and a pin in there. So now I've got a pin in 4/4 round the hair, and I'm going to start at the back of the headband, lay it down there, the back, the centre seam is there, that's the back. Find the centre seam, there's the centre seam of the hair. Leave the pin up there now. That goes, I don't know if you can see that, but that goes into the fold like that. And the pin goes back in to hold it in position like that. To the centre back. This machine's got quite good because I can take a piece out, which means I could just slot the headband over there.
Thank you so much for the service that you provide. I am a young woman and lost my hair due to chemo and have been worrying about not having hair in the summer. My children are very young and get upset when they see me with no hair. I get headaches wearing my wig but have no problems with the hairpiece you provided. It has made my life a lot easier having the hairpiece.
That's finished and that will fit nicely, comfortably round the head, average size head. We have had a request for somebody who had a rather large head, and I had to put an extra piece in the headband and make the hair a bit longer, but it worked. The stitching is as close to the edge as I can get it, so that it holds the hair in place. It's fairly flat and soft and comfortable.
You really are doing a fantastic job and have helped me so much in an already difficult time. I will be recommending you to everyone else that I find in my situation. Thank you.
A little cottage, sitting in bed, sewing on hair onto headbands, and Yvonne comes along with sewing machines, and the whole thing just took off in a sort of slightly different direction. And that was, what did we say, 3 years ago?
Nearly 4 years ago.
Nearly 4 years ago, and I think we've done over 400 now. And the idea, finish off, I say, the idea of having this video, to my mind, is that even if we all disperse or something happens, people will be able to make their own, because that is what we want. We want people to be able to, they lose their hair, to have something to complement and not always have to rely on a wig. Why, for me, this video is really very important.
You sell your hairpieces at cost, don't you, really? Or even below cost?
Yes, I think actually at the moment slightly below cost.
That's what I thought.
People are kind with donations.
But some people are very kind. I mean, yes, so it doesn't quite work out, but we do get money, and we're still able to do it.
So this is a way of doing it if you want to do it by hand, if you haven't got a machine or you want to do just one or two for yourself. You start the same principle, you have the band, the sweat band, and you make that little bit there with the stitching, so that when you've gone round and done that, it looks like that. And then you put your bit of hair in there, and then pin it, and then you sew it along that stitching line, and then when it's in, and you've sewn it, and then this will then be sewn, and then you just can put that over there, so it's got that will then have and then that will have a neater edge. So it'll be perfectly firm because you've sewn it there and you've got a good line to follow. You've got the seam line to follow, and So you can do it all the way around, but this is easier for the short halves or a fringe. It is quite difficult to do it all the way around, getting the stretching right. And then when you've got it on, then you can just trim it yourself to what you would like, or curl it or whatever. So that is the simple way of just doing a one.
This is 8 stitches on your knitting needles in a double knitting wool. Knit a long strip and then sew a seam up and then slide it onto the hairband, and that's so that you can stitch a little fringe along there. And you've got one done already?
Yes, I have. Yes, there's one.
That's one with the hair sewn on, and that will be shaped into a little fringe to wear under a hat. And it's very comfortable on your head. Put one on the top.
On the other side.
Like that.
So you've got the fringe and the back.
So that will hang down the back.
That's right,
there.
yes. So you've got the thickness at the top of your
We
head.
just send people whatever they ask for, don't we?
We try.
But very briefly, it was a friend of mine called Heather who sadly got cancer, lost all her hair, and didn't like just wearing a hat. She had young grandchildren, and it really upset her. And at the time, we were doing, Alice bands.
I already have a Heather's hair, and it has given me so much more confidence. They are very comfortable and look really well as they are real hair. I am super excited about receiving my new Heather's hair, so I will have a few different looks. Ivor Mary has dedicated much of her own time and money towards this wonderful charity, which has given people the self-esteem and confidence while going through hair loss to continue with a normal life. Grandy, your self-drive, determination and self-respect while creating Heather's hair has truly been incredible. You have touched so many lives and no one can really tell you how much of a difference you've made to people's day-to-day goings-on. You really are an inspiration and I'm very, very lucky to call you my grandmother. You are cherished beyond words and I love you. Thank you.